matchups on this final day of the regular season, and we've got a compelling one in store here, as it'll be the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Cleveland Browns. What we can see of the ball appears to be teed up and ready to go. And off we go from Cleveland. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
Let's go now. Pat the 60. Pat the 60.
They'll start on the ground. ETN. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. You look at this Colt defense. We know they're going to be tough to throw on. Top 3 in the NFL defending the pass.
And this is where we talk game inside the game. Top 5 passing offense versus top 5 passing defense. I wouldn't be surprised defensively if they change up coverages a bit more than usual to try and combat what they expect to see.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
And 6 yards to go.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he is caught. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. In this weather, any big play in the passing game, that's just a bonus, right?
It certainly is, but oftentimes offenses think inclement weather plays to their advantage because you know where you're going on offense. Defenders have to react, and they often slip.
That's downfield. He's got Fannin. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Now from Colts territory, here's a first and 10 at the 30-yard line. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. They'll try and set up the screen to ETN. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Ready? Go.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Only able to gain a couple there. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Brings up 3rd and 12.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
60 Eagles. 60 Eagles. Ready?
Again, he'll drop to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And that might have been a situation where even though you don't hit on the deep throw, you at least put in the defenders' minds early in the game that we're going to press the ball deep against your secondary. And that can have a ripple effect on how they function throughout.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
First and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together.
Like it. Check. Pass all 80.
They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And he'll get this out to about the 40. You give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Second down, another run with Taylor. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. 3rd and 5.
No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down.
They'll send Mitchell in motion right.
Mustang 19. 7 Pirates.
Back to throw. Leonard. And not enough on the throw that time as that one is incomplete. Ethan Evans on now to punt.
Evans in punt formation.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Now Campbell off the play fake. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Campbell. And this one is incomplete.
That's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on 3rd down. And 3rd down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a 4th down.
Taking it about the 36. And he'll take a shot at the end of that one, and they'll begin right there.
44-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play.
That too.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10. At the 45-yard line.
Back to throw. Leonard. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. You look at this Browns defense. They're in the spot statistically that you don't want to be in against the pass. Number 32 in the league, dead last.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
Looking to throw. Leonard. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Here's Ethan Evans now. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is taken at the 15. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Now ETN to start the drive. Out past the 30, 2nd down coming up.
Nice chunky yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Let's go now. 19 tight. 19 tight.
Back to throw. Campbell. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
On the go.
Not liking the look. They'll change the play. Throwing to start the drive. Leonard. A short one there, caught by Warren. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
First down, Colts.
Riggs.
Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Here we go. 18 Cardinal. 19 Tiger.
Here's 2nd and 8. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
In the red zone, precision is the watchword. If the throw's a little too early, too late, maybe off a little bit, going to be a good chance that any attempt is going to be a contested one, and that one falls incomplete.
18 Cardinal. Mustang 19. Let's go.
From the gun on 3rd down. Leonard. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And his kick here is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
23-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. On 1st and 10, it's ETN. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And that is incomplete.
Well, that was his first target of the game, and it's going to take at least one more target to get him on the board. Took a nice substantial hit to jar that catch loose from him. Incomplete pass.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Hey, Crash. Dragon 6 Hawk 70. 60 Maverick. 60 Maverick. 70 Ryan. Hey, watch the back.
Looking to throw. Campbell. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He finds his man complete. It's Stevenson. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
On the throw, running too much that time. It's incomplete. The Browns at 6-10 on the year. And they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
And his throw here's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
70 Ranger, 70 Ranger. Go.
Off the play fake. Campbell. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. And the Colts are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And it'll be a minimum pickup here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Colts in possession as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Back to throw. Leonard. And he's got his man in stride. Complete. They'll give him 4 yards there. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
And now an audible here into something else.
Panther 11, Panther 11.
From the gun on 3rd down. Leonard. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Colts first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
76, Viking, 18. Trap 60, trap 60.
Looking to throw. Leonard. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Colts have taken the lead. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call the playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Campbell now. Off play action. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. So another incompletion mentioned there, he's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Ready?
The Browns on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Straight ahead, ETN. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard strike. Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
Back on 80. No. Here we go. Viking, 18. Hey. 19, Tiger. Go.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he'll get this to the 32.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Check. 19, Tiger. Hey, Crash.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. So the completion good for 7 there. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
3rd and inches.
Go street. 70 Lions.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And at a 42-yard line here and brought down there. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down.
First down. It's a gain of 3. First down, Indianapolis.
Ready? Back on 80. Ready?
They go to the ground again with Taylor. Oh, fighting off the defender. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
$60 Bison.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. A dump off from Mason. And he takes a pop at the end of that one. It'll be a gain of about 4.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The Browns drive about to get started. They trail by 10, 13-3 as they come up on a 1st and 10. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
I think they want to start getting back into this game. It behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. 38-yard line, 2nd and 9.
Here we go, here we go. 18, Rattler, 70 Ranger, 70 Ranger. Go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
60 Maverick, 60 Maverick.
To throw is Campbell from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Here's Jack Fox now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A pretty good return, all things considered, but holding.
I agree with you totally. It's actually a return that they were going to be very proud of. But when you end up holding and bringing it back, now your offense has to start a little bit deeper in their own territory.
19 target.
And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. Beating him there with his legs, 21 yards, 1st down.
First play of the drive, excellent run. Just sets up wash, rinse, repeat. Another 1st down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Panther 60, Panther 60. 19 Tiger.
Operating from the gun, Leonard. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Well, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down. Back to throw, Leonard. And he comes back with one complete.
Now, faster.
It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 4.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Ready. Cowboy 80.
It looks like they'll move things around here.
79 Broncos.
From the gun on 3rd down, Leonard. This will be swung out wide for Taylor. And he is going to have a Colts 1st down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
18 Cardinal. 70 Lions.
First and 10, Taylor now. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
2nd and 10.
Here we go. 70 Lions. Street. Buffalo 18.
Again, it's Taylor. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
Looking to throw. Leonard. It's caught. Mitchell. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
Colts, first down.
Rig alert.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
19-18. Ready.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. This is 2nd and 8.
19 Tiger. 19 Tiger. Cougar 19. Go.
Up the middle, here's Taylor. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 3rd and 4.
He's brought down at the 37-yard line.
And now the clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the lead stretches. 16-3 now. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And running with power here. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The lake effect snow set to continue for the second half of action as we are back underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive.
Back. Press all 80. Hawk 70. Hawk 70. Hey, Trash.
A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Check smash. 60 Bison, 60 Bison.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And the Colts first down.
Here we go. Ready, roll.
On the handoff, Taylor. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Calling a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down.
It's 3rd down. 3rd and 13.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
70, 60 Maverick, 60 Maverick.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll try and do this himself. And they'll find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 34-yard line.
And the Colts first down.
Come on, ready.
Now a give to Taylor. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now a 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play. Brings up
Let's
2nd
go now.
and 10.
Back to throw. Leonard. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. A gain of 8 there on the play. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Here we go, set. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Let's go.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. He's got room to roam. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
Let's go. 60 Bison, 60 Bison. 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. '70 Timberwolves.
Looking to throw. Leonard. And his pass incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Cougar 19.
Now they'll change things around before the snap.
Check, Panther. Go street. Let go.
On the handoff, this is Taylor. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
On the jump.
It's now 3rd and goal.
Off the bootleg. Leonard. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. From 6 yards away. And the Colts take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
The Colts will line up for the 3-point conversion.
70. Panther 60, Panther 60. '79 Broncos.
They'll look to throw. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. That's caught. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 33-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Unlock line. Ready.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
At the 32-yard line.
Come on, trap 60, trap 60. 70 Lions. Ready.
Back to throw. Campbell. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Odafe Owe just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
60 Eagles, 60 Mavericks. Go.
Looking to throw. Campbell. And that incomplete, nearly intercepted. And remember, he had his hands on one earlier, had one pick. Could have been his 2nd, but instead it's 4th down. And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. And taken right on the 30. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They're just looking to do more of the same. They were good in the first half. They've extended their lead so far here in the second half. I don't know, they're just looking good on hitting on all cylinders right now.
And sometimes that means a head coach who really has a finger on the pulse of the team may not have anything to say at all. May tell the rest of the coaches,
up a little bit.
just back it off a little bit. This team has it under control. I remember hearing about Bob Knight years ago in basketball, getting ready to give the final speech before the gold medal game in '84. And on the board, Michael Jordan had written, "Coach, after all we've been through, there's no way we're losing tonight." He didn't even give a pregame speech.
Wow, interesting. Well, right now, no speech is needed. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
60 Bison, 60 Bison.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Colts are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
The kicker on.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Makes the score Colts 31, Browns
3. The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The Browns drive about to get started. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line.
Cardinal, check smash, Cougar 19, 70 Rangers, 7 Pirates.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid game to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
4 yards to go.
Now they'll audible to something else.
60 Eagles. Hey, smash. Go.
3rd down, here's Mason. And he's able to pick up the 1st before he's taken down at the 27. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains.
On the jump. Go. Hawk 70. Panther 60. Ready.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. To the right side and intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Browns are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
Intercepted. The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them in the turnovers, they've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And he's got some space here. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey. Bronco 80. Bronco 80.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And it'll be 2nd and a couple.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger. Unlock Lion, unlock Lion. Hurt. Streak.
Running left, Mason. And a short gain here, down to the 22. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Liking 8.
1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
60 Bison. Ready?
Back to throw. Leonard. That one out wide and intercepted. And the Browns are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, their defense has really struggled.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
The kidder here, it's complete. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Makes it 3rd and 8.
Let's go now. Cowboy 80. 18 Rattler. 18. Ready.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
70. 60 Bobcats. 60 Bobcats. 79 Broncos.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. And the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. So a risky move that does not pay off. And, Charles, you take it from the defensive perspective. They had to be a little offended there that they even tried to go for it back inside their own 20.
Highly offended. And they took the ball away and gave it to their offense in a great situation. But when you look at this thing in total, when you start taking chances like that, you know what that means? You have to take more.
chances later, right? When you don't convert, that just means you got to double down on it. So we can see this thing pile up as we go on.
From the 5 now, 2nd and a yard.
Panther 60, Panther 60. Get it. Viking 8, Cowboy 80.
Off play action. Leonard. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Oh, he's been fun to watch in this one. He's made the correct reads all game long and helped stake his team a huge lead. Running, passing, he's made all the right decisions. But that wasn't the right read on that one. It falls incomplete.
Straight ahead, here's Mason.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
It's 4th down and less than a yard.
19.
How about this? They'll change it at the line.
On 4th down, Leonard. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Off the play fake. Leonard. Wide open receiver complete. And the Colts are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
That's a good effort there after the catch. He looked the ball in and then tried to get it to the goal line. What a nice tackle to get him down. But they're set up well now. 1st and goal at the 1.
They'll try again. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did.
Leads to 2nd and goal.
And they'll run again. And this time he'll score. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Sometimes offense can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 35.
Off play action. Campbell. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 25 yards that time.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Come on. Set. 70 Lions. Vikings. 18. 79 Broncos. 18. Pioneer.
Looking to throw. Campbell. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
70. Come up. 70 Timberwolves. Go.
Back to throw again. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
A loss of 11. It's 2nd and 21 at the Colts' 38-yard line.
Back to throw. Campbell. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. The Browns on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Now 3rd down and 8.
Looking to throw. Campbell. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Mustang 60 Eagles. 60 Eagles. Buffalo 18.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. They'll start with a run by Mason. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
At the 23-yard line.
60 back. Here we go.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. 2nd and 11 now.
Let's go.
Back to throw. Leonard. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Across midfield. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Boy, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, these guys are not going to go out with their tails between their legs. They're going to keep taking their shots until the clock's at 000. But that one, like a lot of others, winds up incomplete.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Here's Campbell throwing on 4th down. And now here's another interception. And the Colts are going to have it here just past the 25.
Is a turnover on down.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off in the fourth. And that's going to be incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
60 Eagles. Warriors 70. Mustang 19. Ready.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard.
Cup 19. Cup 19. Let's go. Cowboy 80. Let's go.
Off the play fake. Leonard. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Come on. Come on. Ready, right?
They go play action here on first down.
Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
Oh, boy, tough conditions out there. I don't know if the defender slipped or what, but he had a man wide open, and that's a bad one to miss on. They don't come a whole lot easier than that one right there.
Now he's going to step up and run.
He's got it at the 15.
And he'll be touched down in the end, but a big play on that one.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw again.
That's to the pylon and incomplete. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach. And maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier.
And it'll be intercepted.
Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Browns come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over.